Greetings. Let's talk. So, I want to keep with this theme of meetings and types of meetings that the SCA tends to have. And understand that for what we're talking about today, this is arguably one of the much more unregulated meetings. There's so many different things that go into an arts and sciences meeting. Now, first of all, if you're new to the SCA, you probably have heard arts and sciences or ANS, and it's the A and sign, and S is our abbreviation for it. And what do we call? What are we talking about when we say arts and sciences? And to use modern parlance, it's the makerspace within the SCA. People who create or perform just about anything tend to be kind of looped in under this umbrella term of arts and sciences or ANS. And now, unlike some other meetings, you're not required to have any regular arts and sciences meetings in your group. Now, a lot of groups do have them, and there's a lot of different ways to have an ANS meeting. I know the group I started with years ago. Arts and Sciences Night was every, I believe it was second Tuesday, was Arts and Sciences, was ANS Night. And at that meeting we had a class. Sometimes we'd actually have 2 or 3 classes. The particular venue we were in, we could actually bring in multiple instructors, and you could pick whatever class you wanted to attend. And that was the way we did ANS. With very few exceptions, arts and sciences classes were held on ANS nights each month, and the big goal was for the ANS minister was to get teachers to come in on those nights and teach. Now, there are other groups that I am aware of where the actual regular meetings are every week, and they're more of a general get-together where everyone kind of brings their own thing and socializes while they work on it, or sometimes we just show up and socialize. I'm fully guilty of that. And the actual classes, generally speaking, are held on other nights. It's usually its own unique night. Like, we'll schedule a class for Saturday during the day, or Friday night, or Monday night if there's not a conflict with another activity or another meeting. And there are other groups still where there are no regular arts and sciences meetings. There's not an ANS night for that group. But there are hosts of classes, like 1 or 2 classes or 3 classes a month sometimes. And they're whenever things work out on the calendar for class availability and teacher availability and accessibility. You know, is the class going to be messy? It's probably going to be outdoors, which means it's going to be during the daytime, which means it's probably going to be on the weekend. Is the class, is it cold and wet outside? Is it the wet or rainy or cold season for wherever you live? And it's probably going to be indoors, which means it can probably be held during the week, maybe at a library, maybe at someone's shop or their house. You have those options. What is required to host an arts and sciences meeting, within the SCA? Really not much. All meetings have to be announced on an SCA, local SCA venue, i.e. social media or email, in advance. It has to be on the calendar. And generally speaking, there needs to be an officer there. I don't know if that's a requirement or not, but I know that's one of the benchmarks we tend to try and hold to. Again, that's just so there's something official there. But overall, just a space and a teacher is really all that's required. Are you required, if you're going to go to an arts and sciences meeting, are there any requirements on your part? And the answer really is, from the SCA standpoint, no. Sometimes classes may have practical restrictions on them, like only a certain number of people are allowed in. That is That can be for the teacher standpoint, like they don't want to teach more than 5 or 6 people, or it's a hands-on class, they don't want to be responsible for more than so many people at the table. Sometimes there are safety restrictions, like if they're going to be using certain tools or certain materials, they may not want children in the room, or they may not want more than a certain number of people in the room, so that nothing gets spilled or no one gets hurt, that kind of thing. Those type of restrictions, I don't see them come up often, but when I do see limits on classes, those are usually why they come up. It's usually a matter of, we don't want someone getting hurt, we don't want the poor teacher pulling their hair out before the class is over. Is there ever a cost to attend an arts and sciences meeting? Sometimes. Sometimes teachers will ask for some small fee, usually to offset materials. Sometimes there is a cost associated with the actual site itself, like perhaps the SCA or the teacher has to use a space where that space has a fee to enter. Like I actually know several venues that are like, it's $3 a head to get in. It's nothing to do with us, but if you want to attend. But as a general rule, can you just go to an SCA ANS meeting? Chances are, for a majority of them, absolutely. Do you have to be a member? No. Do you have to, does going to a meeting commit you to do whatever that meeting is? No. I have attended loads, oh my God, probably in all the years I've been playing, I've probably attended hundreds of ANS classes that I had zero interest in ever doing what was being taught. Nothing against it, it's just not my thing. Do I regret going? No. It is so much fun just watching people talk about something they enjoy. Even if I am never going to do weaving, just not my thing. But I thoroughly enjoy attending weaving and loom classes and hearing people talk about it and talk about how they do it and how they organize it and how they design the patterns. Am I ever going to do jewelry making? Probably not, but I thoroughly enjoyed the handful of jewelry making classes I've attended. Hearing these craftsmen and these artisans talk about their tools and the way they do the patterning and the historical precedents they use to design rings or necklaces, and those are amazing. I actually enjoy it just from the history standpoint. I'll never make jewelry. I'm probably never going to make jewelry. Nothing against it. Again, not my thing, but thoroughly enjoy the classes. Do I regret or do I have any second thoughts about going to the singing classes? No, and I don't sing anymore. I mean, I still do sometimes for performing arts, but singing's not something that I do now like I used to when I was younger, but I still attend some of the like how to sing rounds or how to lead a group or 12th century rounds or carols of the mid-period German and so on. There's just so many amazing classes, and I love going and watching those classes. Am I ever going to use any of the stuff they teach? Very unlikely. I still enjoy them. Arts and sciences classes are kind of the hidden gem of the SCA because it's such a catch-all term. No two groups approach it the same way. I have played in 4 groups heavily in the last quarter century, and I don't think any 2 of them ever approached what ANS classes were and how they were handled the same way. But if you are active in the SCA in your area and you've never been to an arts and sciences class, or you're only vaguely familiar with what ANS is, I encourage you to look it up, give it a try, and try and work it into your regular schedule, because ANS classes, from a SCA standpoint, really can serve to enrich your game. Part of it's the connections you make, part of it's the information you learn, part of it is, it is an activity that helps you further build your relationship with the local SCA group, which I have never regretted building that relationship. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope that this helps you further your SCA adventure. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. But until next time, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you at the next event.